Oh, hi there, friends. Mandy here. Restorative grief is all about creating easy access to healing no matter where or who you are. That's why I want you to remember that if you want grief support beyond a podcast, my 31-day guidebook is available to order on Amazon. Embracing our losses without losing ourselves is a reflective journey into the holistic needs of grievers and learning to support yourself, mind, heart, body, and spirit. Don't just wing it. You can lean into grief work with a guide. The link for the book and more are available in the show notes, and as always, you can reach out with questions. But for now, let's get on to this week's episode. Welcome back to Restorative Grief with Mandy Capehart. You are listening to episode 166, titled Make Journaling Suck Less. Today, I want to offer a fresh perspective on journaling for those who may feel hesitant about it. While we often understand intellectually that journaling can be a valuable tool for working through frustration and struggles, putting it into practice can feel overwhelming. You may wonder where to even begin. So I've collected a handful of my favorite methods of journaling to hopefully inspire you to reflect and make a journaling habit for yourself that does not suck. If you're someone who enjoys setting new targets, like creating habits at the start of the year, consider journaling as one that could serve you in powerful ways. Over the last few decades, the rise of the internet has given us a variety of platforms, both long form and short form, for journaling. Those of us who grew up in the early days of online platforms will remember Open Diary, LiveJournal, Blogger, and Zenga, places where people could share their thoughts long before today's short form social media driven outlets became popular. And make no mistake, posting on social media or writing a blog is in itself a form of journaling. These platforms allowed us to move beyond private reflection to a shared communal processing of our experiences. And millions have found solace in online journaling during pivotal moments such as the aftermath of 9/11 or the COVID-19 pandemic. Publicly sharing our thoughts and connecting with others who are going through the same challenges has helped so many of us process through trauma, advocate for better mental health services, and foster self-compassion by realizing we are not alone. But for those with the heaviest burdens, expressing yourself online may feel too vulnerable or uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's common to find yourself in a place where you're not ready to share your stories with others. But this is where personal journaling can become a powerful outlet. Even if we aren't ready to speak publicly, we can bear witness to our own stories in a private, safe space. Carrying unspoken pain is taxing on our nervous system. We often pretend everything is fine while suffering silently, which only deepens our stress, but journaling offers an alternative. Putting your story onto paper, regardless of the format, transfers the emotional weight onto the page, giving you some distance from the pain. Whether you revisit those pages later or not, the act of writing offers immediate relief. And I believe there is a form of journaling for everyone, whether you love to write or find the idea daunting. So let's explore different types of journaling that can help you process your emotions in ways that feel right for you. Even if you've never liked writing, there's likely a method that fits your needs and can support your healing process. Remember, the entire point of journaling is to keep a record of what you've experienced and to sort through what might be there to learn from just beneath the surface. So first, we'll talk about expressive journaling, which is similar to the reflective style of blogging. It's a free writing approach where you pour out your emotions without worrying about grammar or structure. This is probably the most common style of journaling, and with its emotionally forward focus, it can help us process complex feelings and reduce anxiety about our circumstances. However, this is often the hardest place to start because many times we don't even know how to name what we're feeling. If that starts to describe your hesitation with journaling, take heart. Expressive journaling is only one of many ways to explore what you're going through. Stream of consciousness journaling is related to expressive journaling, but with even less structure. Instead of trying to name your emotions, you simply start writing whatever comes to mind. I love this style when I feel foggy or overwhelmed because it can begin with something as simple as scribbling a swear word. For many people, anger often becomes the starting point in this style of journaling. As we know, anger is a secondary emotion. It is bold, protective, and keeps us activated in our sympathetic nervous system, allowing us to avoid the more vulnerable feelings underneath. By dumping those initial angry or chaotic thoughts onto the page, you may find easier access to that deeper, more unknown emotional state, and it may begin to surface. If you sense something deeper but don't want to dive headfirst into unstructured writing, then maybe mindfulness journaling is a good place for you to start. Instead of reflecting on the past, this style focuses on the present moment. You jot down any sensations, thoughts, impressions, or feelings that come up without judgment or analysis. You are simply an observer of yourself. This approach pairs beautifully with our somatic practices because it grounds you in the present moment while promoting self-compassion, both crucial elements for grief work. But for those of you ready to go deeper in your inner world, shadow work journaling is a powerful next step. This is where I often introduce Enneagram work with my clients, as grief and shadow work frequently intertwine. Shadow work focuses on exploring the younger parts of ourselves that may hold trauma, fears, and unmet needs. This type of journaling can be heavier and is often best done with guidance. It encourages emotional integration, fosters openness to our grief, and deepens our self-acceptance. It's important to note that there's no set amount of time you need to journal each day. Just beginning is progress, and that alone can lead to significant growth. However, if you are short on time or feel overwhelmed by the thought of journaling for even 10 minutes or more, there are quicker methods that can still offer much support. One-liner journaling is a low-pressure option that promotes consistency. As the name suggests, you write a single sentence about your day, your feelings, or a memorable moment. And you can stop there, or if you feel inclined, expand it into more writing. But the simplicity of a one-liner makes it easier to stay committed without feeling burdened. Another easy option is prompt journaling, which takes the pressure off by having someone else or a guidebook pose a question for you to answer. It's an effective way to access emotions that you may otherwise avoid, giving you a little structure while also building self-awareness. But if those methods don't resonate with you, bullet journaling might be right for you. Typically used as a planner, bullet journaling allows you to track your day or emotional state in brief, organized lists or single words. It helps to reduce visual overwhelm in a journal and brings clarity, while allowing you to spot patterns in your emotional experiences. A simple tip for this is to try jotting down a single word or emotion before each meal. It might surprise you what surfaces, and over time, this practice can help you pinpoint the root of those feelings. No matter which method you choose, journaling offers valuable relief, helping you process emotions and offering a witness to your own experience. Other forms of journaling that aren't necessarily writing are video journaling, recording a short audio memo to yourself when you're feeling a certain way, or keeping an art or doodle journal. A friend of mine once created a joy journal, similar to a gratitude journal. How many times can I say journal today? He would make time to write down all the small moments of joy throughout his day and then review it as a daily soothing activity before bed. Perhaps you're a spiritual person and would benefit from a bullet or one-liner style spiritual journal where you can make note of the sentence or scripture you find inspiring each day. Or maybe you've heard about The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron and you're interested in spending whatever time it takes to write 3 morning pages of stream of consciousness journaling to open up to what ails you. The theme and methodology of journaling is up to you, of course, but what you must do is pick one and begin. You are entering into a stage in life where decisions are no longer made for you. And if you're listening to this show, you're listening because you want to live with intention and openness. You are ready to experience healing and transformation. Personally, I jump around. On any given week, I've used bullet journaling, one-liner, expressive, shadow work, stream of consciousness, mindfulness, doodling. I love collecting an inspirational quote as often as I remember, so sometimes I'll keep a journal of those separate from the daily expressions. But when I miss a day, I do not beat myself up and start over, and I certainly don't try to backfill any pages or days that I've missed. This practice is meant to be fluid and flexible, inviting reflection or freedom from a habit when needed. There's one last area I want to address. In a previous episode of this podcast, we discussed future self-journaling. Now, this is different from manifestation journaling, in which you would write about your desires as if they have already happened. And while vision boards and manifestation journals can feel hopeful and optimistic, future self-journaling goes much deeper. Neuroscience confirms the importance of writing as a habit. As we connect the dots between our experiences and any new ideas, we shift the neural pathways in our brains to better anticipate outcomes in the future and to anticipate better outcomes for the future. Future self-journaling is a practice for the morning when our brains are at their most peaceful and least distracted with concerns of the coming day. Through the practice of self-awareness, we can use future self-journaling to create a compassionate statement around who we want to become in one specific area of our lives, and then write a present tense statement about our future self. We need to be careful with this practice, as with all new practices, that we do not lean into self-condemnation and wishful thinking. Our trauma awareness reminds us to consider that we are not moving forward on willpower alone. We are aware of any resistance from within, from our histories, and we are gentle with ourselves as we set new targets to heal. And if that does not resonate with you, go back and listen to episode 164 on navigating resistance, okay? So when we write our compassionate statement about a future self in the present tense, we are going to look for one action in our daily lives that supports that statement for the future. What am I doing today that would make this true? What shift in my life is reasonable, achievable, interesting, and accessible to you? Sometimes our future self-journals get out of hand and we become discouraged. So it's really important to be mindful about how intentional we can and want to be. But whatever you choose to do, choose. And remember, ignoring this challenge to start a new journaling habit is also a choice. Every decision we make moves us closer to or further from the person we are becoming. Rather than watching time pass, I'm inviting you to join the flow with intention and enjoy the ride right with the rest of us. Thank you for listening to episode 166 of Restorative Grief. I gave you so many different ideas about journaling, and there are many more you can find with a simple online search. So pick one and get started. The longer you hesitate or think about it, or try to find the right pen or perfect journal, the less likely you are to begin. This month, our workbook has a page out of my Future Self workbook for grievers, but if you're not yet a patron, I wanted to offer the Future Self Journal as a free gift for listeners. So if you're interested, just reach out to me on social media and tell me what type of journaling style from this episode you want to try, and I will send you the link for the Future Self Journal worksheet too. If this is your first time listening to the show, thank you for being here. I hope this is the start of a new life-giving habit for you. Be sure to subscribe to the show, leave a review, and tell a friend about your new favorite encouragement podcast. Patrons, thank you again for your continued support of this show. You are the literal best. And as always, before we go, one last thing. Please remember, the only solution for grief is to do the work of grieving. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next week.